Hi, this is Bill from HowToVanish.com. We all know that there's a lot of personal information floating around on the internet. And just removing it from those social espionage and network monitoring sites like Facebook and things like that, it's a start, but there's a lot more to removing your personal information from the internet. There are a lot of online sources for getting personal information, but most data aggregators get their online data from one of two companies, either Intellius or Acxiom. Those are two companies that do the most as far as collecting data and putting it on the internet as a source point for information. Pretty much everyone else who gathers personal information gets it from those two companies. Fortunately, both Intellius and Acxiom can be contacted and allow you to remove a lot of the personal information that they collect about you. Now, you can't remove everything, but you can remove a lot of it. The other unfortunate thing is you need to provide them with a whole lot of documentation and proof that you are the person that you say you are in order to get the information off the internet in the first place. So it can be a pain, but there's at least something that can be done. Now, just removing the information from the internet, like Facebook or these data aggregators like Intellius or Acxiom or one of the others, is really only addressing the symptom. It's not addressing the problem. The problem is the way that your information is getting onto the internet in the first place. So the fact that you have private, personal information gathered from a lot of other sources is what makes your information end up on the internet to be searchable by pretty much anyone in the world. If you don't prevent those original sources from gathering that information in the first place, every piece of online data that you remove, that you take down from Intellius or Acxiom, is just going to be replaced within a matter of days, weeks, months, maybe years by these other places where your information is being collected in the first place anyway. So here are some of the major sources that the online information brokers, where they get your personal information. So obviously the biggest ones are the social networking sites like Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever. Those are, Mark Zuckerberg and friends make their money by selling your information. So they are collecting as much as they can and they're selling as much as they can. Other sites are maybe dating sites like Match.com or something. Public records are a big way that people collect your information, and a lot of times that's how it ends up online. So public records might be public property ownership records or court documents, things like that. Other places that people might not think about are resume sites. When you upload a resume, a lot of the times they'll import the email address, phone number, address, all that kind of stuff with your name. Credit reporting agencies, they actually do give some of the information to these online data aggregators. Smartphone apps collect a lot of personal data and they will sell it or share it. And there's lots of other places that they won't tell you about. So those are the kind of ways that your information gets collected in the first place, which then ultimately ends up online. So even if you remove it from online and you go to the grocery store and participate in a survey and give them all kinds of information, your information is going to wind up on the internet eventually anyway. So the best way to stop that is to stop it at the source. When you provide information to anyone, whether they're a company providing you services or whether participating in a survey or getting some free stuff, use ghost addresses, use prepaid cell phone numbers. You can use a pseudonym in a lot of cases. Sometimes just limiting the amount of personal information that you give to those companies and those services can help limit the amount of personal information that's available. Get the book How to Vanish if you want to figure out a lot more ways to keep your personal information private. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is Bill from HowToVanish.com. Use your powers for good.